What up, Curry Gang? Welcome to Night and Day Talk Media. This your host, JR Curry, and I'm back with another one. All right, so we're going to get into this video of this Dehaven response to Jaguar recent interview on the Blue Couch. Dehaven, that's Jay-Z former childhood friend that Jay-Z, liked to rap about on the lyric, on his albums and all that. So he responded to Jaguar's a clip from the interview where they asked her about Diddy and the whole, Cassie thing and the whole case thing, and asked her who's next, basically who they gonna go after next, and she mentions Jay-Z, and so Dehaven responded to that. Let's go ahead and get into the clip real quick, just to refresh y'all, just to recap y'all on this real quick. All right, let's get into it.
Ever been to a P. Diddy party?
Yeah, many, honest.
And so, can you take us through like what goes on, like when you were there?
Money
Right.
and sex.
Were you surprised that there were so many cameras in his houses?
No.
So let me ask you, when you hear that Cassie was told to hire male escorts to come in what they call freak offs now,
Yeah.
is that something normal that happens in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Freak offs.
Hey, everybody know that. I've been saying it.
So why does Puffy, why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup? Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. He lined up Dehaven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and fucking took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Have you ever been to a
All right, so Dehaven responded to Jaguar. He said at some point everyone will be locked up and have cases on but him. I guess he's referring to Jay-Z. He said, understand and read my last post. So what we're going to do is go back to his last post, what we reported on, where he indicated that Jay-Z was working with the feds or something like that. So, I mean, we can't confirm or deny it. We just going off the account of what they're basically saying about this, giving their account or whatever, or they believe what might have happened. So we're gonna pull this video up real quick. Hold on.
Welcome to Night and Day Talk Media. Jay-Z's former childhood friend Dehaven lately have been dropping miniature excerpts from a chapter in his book titled The Carters about his life and the times of coming up with Jay-Z. Dehaven recently posted on his Instagram titled Family Feud Part 1, where he explains a conversation he has with Jay-Z's mother, Miss Gloria. Family Feud Part 1. I thought about it long and hard only to come up with, it had to be Miss Carter. She was only one I spoke to via phone. I've been in Wake County Jail for 2 weeks now, and not a word from Jay. I applied so much pressure on my shorty to find Jay, only to know that he was purposely making himself unavailable, which led me to calling my own mother to get Miss Carter's direct phone number. It was just a brief short conversation, something like this. Me. Hey, Miss Carter, Gloria. Hey, who this? Me. Dehaven. Gloria. Oh, hey, what's up? Me. I've been looking for Jay. I need to speak with him. Gloria, where are you? Me. Locked up in jail. Gloria, you're calling from jail. Me. Yes. Gloria says, well, yes, I will be sure Sean gets the message in a startling voice as if calling from jail was a crime. 1 week later, there was rumors circulating in the hood about me making a suspicious phone call to Jay's mother. I made a direct phone call to Ms. Carter, and now my business is in the street. Why? The one time I ever asked or needed anything from Ms. Carter and she does this to me, yes, our mothers was friends, but Ms. Carter never treated me like my mother treated her son. Just an excerpt from the chapter called The Carters. Book being released this spring, a must-read. Family Feud, Part 2.
All right, so
I remember
Dehaven basically saying that, you know, behind that whole a week ago thing that Jay-Z was rapping about, the song he got with Too Short, he's basically just, you know, giving a background on that, basically saying when he talked to Jay mother, you know, he was labeled as a snitch after that. So, and you know, and if that was the case, there would be paperwork and all that if he was actually a snitch and whatever. But no one ever produced paperwork of Dehaven being a snitch or snitching on Jay-Z or snitching on anybody for that matter. So let's go ahead and move on to part 2 real quick.
clearly one day Ms. Carter squaring me up and looked me in my eyes and told me make sure her son is safe while running around with me. And I did just that. Plus my family enjoyed having Jay around. When Jay got robbed, I was there to defend him and got a gun put to my head. When Jay got robbed again, I got into a shootout in the projects. When Jay and I got stuck up, I took a bullet for him to get away. When Jay got locked up, my mother was there front and center. When asked what she was there for, she said to pick up her son. When Jay got sick, my mother would get up, drive 3 hours, just take him to the hospital. When Jay wanted to live with me, my aunt gave him shelter as well. My family has always treated Jay like family. The one time I needed and counted on his mother, where was the love? As far as I know, Jay got the message, but it wasn't the message that I sent. Ms. Carter didn't even have the decency to have a conversation with my mother. But instead, the whole Carter family distanced themselves from the Irby family till this very day. Just an excerpt from the chapter called The Carters. Book being released this spring, a must-read.
All right, so that's Dehaven basically breaking down how, you know, how their family was real close. His mom and Jay mom was like sisters, you know what I mean? And then after, you know, he got locked up, whatever, and then Jay got further in his career, he's basically saying that the Carter separated from his family, you know, just like easy. You know what I mean? So he basically saying that every time Jay got locked up, every time Jay got locked up, his mom would actually go get Jay, you know what I mean, out of jail. And without even letting Jay-Z's mom know, just, you know, just to keep him out of trouble, you know, from his mom's or whatever. So that's, I mean, that's crazy. So it was a point in time where Jag and Dehaven was actually supposed to you know, do like an interview with each other or something like that. Cause I remember her coming to our channel, you know, during the time we had the Night Day Network LLC channel, and basically saying she wanted to link up with Dehaven to get the word out to him. Cause y'all know we've been reporting on Dehaven for a while. You know what I mean? Ever since, ever since he did the Marcy Maid documentary or whatever. So here's a video actually right here that he had posted on his page when Jag was trying to get up with him. But let's recap this real quick.
Look, it's really simple. This is going to be short and sweet. This isn't a long video. I was just watching what Dehaven had to say. And it's funny how YouTube has like become a place where certain people can kind of pass messages. Dehaven, I think it's time we talk. I think a conversation between you and I could be very productive. And I agree with everything that you say. I've been agreeing with you for much longer than you know. And I think there's some people we have in common that it might surprise you that we have in common. I think you a down ass dude. I think you about it. I think you the real deal. My email address is my name, Jaguar Wright @gmail.com. Let's start there. But I want to talk to you. And I think I may have some things that you need to hear me say to you. Not to the world, but to you. So, Thanks everyone for supporting me. Thank you for supporting my husband.
So that was the time Jag wanted to link up with Dehaven because she thinks she might have had some information, which I think that's impossible because Jay-Z correlation with Dehaven and Jaguar doesn't fit nowhere in that puzzle. Because everything he went through with Jay-Z is way before, way before Jay even blew up in the industry. So Jag has nothing to say to Dehaven regarding Jay-Z. I think Dehaven knows everything about Jay-Z that he needs to know about Jay-Z to tell his story. I don't think he needs Jaguar for that because Jaguar wasn't even around during the late 80s and early 90s when they was out there running the streets and hustling. Jag wasn't nowhere in the picture. Jag, you wasn't even around Jay-Z until 2000s when y'all did the MTV, Unplugged. What do you got to tell that man? It's nothing that she has to tell that man. I think that man doing fine by telling his own story because he was there. He was there through the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's his story. He don't need Jag for that. So I don't know how that would have even worked out. It's nothing that she could have said to that man that make that man go, oh, oh, this would went nothing. There's no correlation there, man. That's way before Jaguar. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get into a little bit of Dehaven, mentioning about some sacrifices that he made for Jay-Z, which a lot of them we know about, and some things he might have mentioned that we don't know about. I think he talks about visiting the Brooklyn, library, the Jay-Z Book of Hove exhibit. And, a lot of the thing he basically breaks down like a lot of things was left out of that because if it wasn't for his, if it wasn't for him, Jay wouldn't be where he at far as like, him being able to look out for Jay during the time they was running the streets and all that. So let's go ahead and get into this clip with Dehaven real quick. I thought it would play.
Let's get to my whole experience. I want to get to my whole experience. So y'all in here, I want to see some more people. Y'all in here, let's get to this whole experience. Right?
Make sure y'all hit that like button too.
When I walk up, when you walk up, I don't know, this is my perspective and how I feel. Like when I walk up and I see it, the whole scripture and the lyrics on the wall, how it's presented, it almost looks like a page out of the Bible, like scripture. It looks like scripture. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how you looking at things, right? And I still think it was dope. I think that shit was dope. And going in, seeing the whole layout, it was funny because the Baseline Studios, right? The Baseline Studios, as I'm standing in there, like I'm envisioning my Aunt Liz crib in the living room because that was like a studio. That was the studio. So I'm like, I can see, you know what I'm saying? Like, look where it come from. Like, look where it come from. That I was there to start that, to get this before all this. It's just, it's like I'm experiencing, like, it's surreal, all of this, but as you walk through and you see the pictures, the milestones, the work, the hard work. I see pictures of my nephew. Shout out Derek. I see pictures. He got pictures of my nephew in the picture. If you guys didn't ever know, with him and all the kids, my nephew was in there and shit. So he got that up, and it's on there up there a few times in there. Seeing the Barclays Center, that sculpture, that model, that little model is just another thing that I'm like, this is something he responsible for and shit. This is something Jay responsible for, or was his name is a part of and shit like this and all this. So it was great. It was a good look. It was a good look. If I was trying to show you that like I'm this super being. Like my accomplishments makes me this super human, like a superhuman motherfucker. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's odd because it's like, you know, like I said, it's almost like they want you to worship him. Like, yo, you should worship him, bro. Like, okay, worship him, and you can be like him one day. It's kind of different. Worshiping him and trying to, you know, accomplish, you know, those accolades and shit is different. Man. Because it's different. Like the whole time I'm there, I can see pictures. I see people. These guys there are saying like, "This nigga raised me. This nigga raised me." Taking pictures. This nigga whole raised me, and I'm trying to piece in my head like, okay, he was brought up. He was brought up off of this music. He raised him. It just like, if he raised you, like why would you say that? Like, what is the meaning of that? Like, if that is no other father, like you ain't have no father in your life. That's
Yeah, and that's how people really looked at hip hop, like as a father, like looked at these rappers as father figures because they own fathers wasn't there. So that's the mindset of niggas from the hood, you know, that grew up off of early hip hop. You know what I mean? Looked at these niggas as father figures. You even heard Tupac talk about how these niggas was like my father, like the old school hip hop niggas was like my father because my daddy wasn't there. And you learn how to, you know what I mean? You learn how to get nuts. You know what I mean? You got to learn how to, you know, grow balls from listening to the rappers, you know what I mean? That was putting out music, talking about, you know, how hard they was, no Diddy, or how, you know, how G'd up they were and all that. So, and that's basically how hip hop became like the father to most people that grew up in, you know what I mean, in the hood or whatever, because they fathers wasn't there. So they looked at the rapper as the hero or the father figure. So I understand what niggas mean by saying that. You know what I'm saying?
number one. Like most of them, you know, I only know one person that's true to that. When they say Jay raised him, he living that he living that, and he know it. You know what I'm saying? He know things, and you know, I only know one person that proved to me that Jay raised him. Like, you know, when he say raised, you know, he used a lot of ways, a lot of things that Jay said in his music to get through life. And shit, you know? So, moving on, right, to after seeing the Barclays Center and then shit, and you know, my main thing was walking up to the Reasonable Doubt poster, picture, sculpture situation. Reasonable Doubt. Like, this is what popped it off. Like, this is my life right here. This is my life right here. And my life brought all this, made all this possible. The story of my life right here on Reasonable Doubt made all this possible. Quote Jay in the Decoded. You know what I'm saying? If he knew he had a voice, but he just needed a story to tell. So when you look at Reasonable Doubt, there's my life, there's my story, and there's where it started.
So that's what Jag mean. So you could tell Jag been watching this, and this where Jag got that from, saying, you know, Jay-Z stole Dehaven's life, you know what I mean, or whatever, and to put it in Reasonable Doubt. But I look at it as, you know, they had a brotherhood going on. They both was running around the streets at the time. A lot of the things Jay said in his lyrics, Dehaven confirmed, but they was running mates. They was running partners. You know what I'm saying? So it was actually both of their lives. Um, you know, I remember Jay saying in Dead Presidents, on the hot block, my man got his side sprayed up. He was talking about Dehaven. And you know what I mean? So that all still was part of their experience together. You know what I mean? But I know Dehaven feel kind of like, you know, slighted because he was cut out of all the stuff after that. You know what I mean? He was pretty much cut out of all that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. You know, that's what was the touching this part right there to me in there. Now,
And you can tell he hurt by that though, because I mean, he like, damn, I basically don't put my life on the line. You know what I mean? During those times, and you know, pretty much ended up empty-handed at the end of all that, based off of Jay's success or whatever.
as you starting to walk, as I start.
Hold on, but one thing else to make this clear, this is, I can see he was rewarded by being able to spank that case and get out of jail where he would have to serve a life sentence. So it kind of still worked out for him far as that, because he didn't have to spend the rest of his life in prison. He didn't make off with the riches, but he made off with his freedom. You know what I mean? So it's crazy how the universe balances that out. I don't know if Dehaven see it that way. Yeah, I mean, I would like to actually get an interview with this brother and have one of those type of discussions where, yeah, I mean, on that level, on the spiritual level, from that perspective, because I know a lot of people have done interviews with him, but they probably haven't brung it to him that way of kind of how his life, he was able to, you know, get out of prison and not have to do life in prison, but he didn't make off with, you know, with the fortune to run with Jay and them. Like, I don't know. Let's continue.
I had to walk out of this place, right? As I'm walking out of this place, a sense of other things started falling into my head about, okay, I just seen all of these accomplishments and accolades and all of this other shit, and I started thinking about what I didn't see. You know, Choke and quite a few other people said the same thing. Who the people that really was a part of it, that was a part of building Reasonable Doubt, is not on that wall. There's no people in there.
Not even Dame. Dame ain't even on that. That's
these
crazy.
are all I see is high people, high execs. It's not nobody. Like, there's this whole other world that's not seen. This whole other world that's not seen. And then when I start saying this whole other world, this dark place of everything that was responsible for this. You know, I envision prisons and lives and that souls that's been ruined, lives that's been ruined, people that die, all the, like, this dark thing of people that behind this.
Right. I see what he's saying. Basically, all the people that had this, you know, that died in the streets for it. You know what I mean? All the people that, you know, sacrificed their lives and went to jail for it and everything. So I understand. I see what he's saying. A lot of that was cut out of that art exhibit. Like, you know what I mean? So for whatever reason, Jay left that part out. I guess he didn't want that in there. I don't know if they propping Jay up to be like a political figure where that stuff, you know what I mean? They wanted, you know, they didn't want to display none of that stuff. I mean, then how really can you really display any of that? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, because, you know, if they propping him up to be some type of political figure, then it's like, what's the point of putting that stuff in there? You know, the street stuff, but I don't understand how you left Dame out though. That's weird to me too, how Dame was left out of that, which is, I don't know, man. I don't know what type of rhyme or reason they got for that, but I guess we'll see.
Started thinking about my sacrifices.
Yeah, you can tell he hurt by that, bro. Like, damn.
Because I ain't gonna front. From 5 minutes that I walked in there, I kind of like was looking at my part. I was looking at my homegirl. I said, "Wow, this nigga owe me." Like, I never had said this nigga owe me. I let the people talk. You know, I never had said this because, you know, whatever he owed me a conversation, or he definitely owed me some apology, he owed me money, whatever the fuck. But that said, after 5 minutes with it, I was like, this nigga owe me. Because the sacrifices, I'm gonna start from when he got robbed. First time he got robbed, boom. I ended up getting a gun put to my head and almost got killed for that. Second time, I jumped in front of a bullet. I almost died for that. Third time, niggas on his ass want to kill him. Kill him. I sacrificed my reputation and my word for that. That's just me and my sacrifices and all the other fights and battles and whatever I had to do to make that happen. Did I see that happening? Nah. It's because I made those choices because that's what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I made these choices and sacrifices. I sacrificed. You know what I'm saying? I sacrificed my life. I made a promise to Gloria Carter that her son will be all right. I'm on trial for the rest of my life. Them niggas asking me about them niggas. I don't know nothing, my nigga. Jay who? What? Do this, that, Emery, what? Nigga, come on, man. I don't know nothing, man. We gonna fight. Stand tall. Sacrifice my life. You want who? Nah. You know we going to trial for this. So when I say no me, no Jay, nigga, y'all gotta get that shit through y'all head. I'm humble. I got a humble soul. If anything, Emery, I got a humble soul. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of my experience. That, is it worth it? Was it worth it for me? Was it worth it? Like, was it worth it?
Bro, you was able to get out of prison though, bro. I mean, that's the flip side of it. You might not be able to, benefit off the success of Jay, even though you had part in getting him there, but you was able to get out and fight and still fight that case and get out without them niggas even helping you out. You know what I mean? And your benefit would be from telling your own story. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. I don't know how the brother look at it. Maybe he look at it that way. Maybe he doesn't. But you know what I mean? I feel like that was an opportunity for him to actually, tell his story, because he ain't have to spend the rest of his life in prison. If y'all catch the drift, man, make sure y'all smash that like button if you haven't. You know what I mean? And subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Make sure you head over to nightanddayNetmarket.com. And shop with us, man. We got the TCT oil on here for y'all that was waiting for the hair growth oil to come back. We got beard oil and moisturizer on here for the brothers. You know what I mean? So we slowly building our shop back up and getting it back to where it was at. We got the t-shirts and everything back on here because the summertime's coming up and all that. So we got the t-shirts and everything back on here. We still got 25% off on all CBD products over here. Make sure y'all definitely come check that out. And for you ladies, for y'all that like to wear the Brazilian wigs and all that, we got a slew of Brazilian wigs on here, natural wigs and all that. So y'all can definitely come over here, and purchase those as well. So this is nightanddayNetmarket.com. The links for this will be in the description of this video. And on that note, man, it's your boy JR Curry, and I'm up out of here. Peace.